Hi guys, today I will do one on Bigfoot. In North American folklore, Bigfoot or Sasquatch are said to be hairy, upright walking, ape-like creatures that dwell in the wilderness and leave footprints. They are strongly associated with the Pacific Northwest, particularly Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia, and individuals claim to see the creatures across North America. Over the years, these creatures have inspired numerous commercial ventures and hoaxes. The plural nouns Bigfoots and Bigfeet are both acceptable. Folklorists trace the figure of Bigfoot to a combination of factors and sources, including folklore surrounding the European wild man figure, folk belief among Native Americans and loggers, and a cultural increase in environmental concerns. A majority of mainstream scientists have historically discounted the existence of Bigfoot, considering it to be a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoax, rather than living animals. A minority, such as anthropologists Grover Grants and Jeffrey Meldrum, have expressed belief in the creature's existence. History of Bigfoot. According to David DeGulling, the legends predate the name Bigfoot. 10. They differ in their details both regionally and between families in the same community. Ecologist Robert Pyle says that most cultures have accounts of human-like giants in their folk history, expressing a need for some larger-than-life creature. Each language had its own name for the creatures featured in the local version of such legends. Many names meant something along the lines of wild man or hairy man, although other names described common actions that it was said to perform, such as eating clams or shaking trees. Chief Marcel of the Nlakapamux at Lytton, British Columbia told such a story to Charles Hiltout in 1898. He named the creature by a Salishan variant meaning the benign-faced one. Members of the Lummi tell tales about Tsimks, the local version of Bigfoot. The stories are similar to each other in the general descriptions of Tsimks, but details differed among various family accounts concerning the creature's diet and activities. Some regional versions tell of more threatening creatures. The Staiaha or Quikwai were a nocturnal race. Children were warned against saying the names, lest the monsters hear and come to carry off a person, sometimes to be killed. In 1847 Paul Kane reported stories by the Indians about Skookums, a race of cannibalistic wild men living on the peak of Mount St. Helens in southern Washington state. In the 1920s, Indian agent J. W. Burns compiled local stories and published them in a series of Canadian newspaper articles. They were accounts told to him by the Stzales people of Chehalis and others. The Stzales and other regional tribes maintain that the Sasquatch were real. They were offended by people telling them that the figures were legendary. According to Stzales accounts, the Sasquatch preferred to avoid white men and spoke the Lillooet language of the people at Port Douglas, British Columbia at the head of Harrison Lake. Sightings. About one-third of all claims of Bigfoot sightings are located in the Pacific Northwest, with the remaining reports spread throughout the rest of North America. Bigfoot has become better known and a phenomenon in popular culture, and sightings have spread throughout North America. Rural areas of the Great Lakes region and the southeastern United States have been sources of numerous reports of Bigfoot sightings, in addition to the Pacific Northwest. The debate over the legitimacy of Bigfoot sightings reached a peak in the 1970s, and Bigfoot has been regarded as the first widely popularized example of pseudoscience in American culture. Various explanations have been suggested for the sightings and to offer conjecture on what type of creature Bigfoot might be. Some scientists typically attribute sightings either to hoaxes or to misidentification of known animals and their tracks, particularly black bears. Another example is in 2007 the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization put forward some photos which they claimed showed a juvenile Bigfoot. The Pennsylvania Game Commission, however, said that the photos were of a bear with mange.